Yo yo, yo yo, yo yo, yo yo yo. Welcome back. Welcome, 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 welcome. It's your boy, Rio. Coming at you with something a little bit different today. It's my first time doing a soft-spoken video, so any feedback would be amazing. But today I'm gonna be coming at you guys with a little story time, I guess you can say. It's gonna be how I quit nicotine or vaping, whatever you want to call it. I know a lot of people struggle with this, so I thought this would be a solid video to make. But yeah, man, I started vaping I want to say maybe 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago maybe. But before then, I never really did any of that stuff. I tried the pouches and stuff a few times, but I don't think I was really hooked on it at that point. But even trying them is kind of stupid, I'm not gonna lie. If I sound like I'm all over the place while I'm recording this, it's because I'm trying to play the game and talk at the same time. But yeah, I wasn't even really hooked on it when I first tried it. But a few years ago, I guess, the Juul got really popular, as many know. And once I took a rip of one of those things, I had to have been hooked immediately. No lie. That thing went crazy, bro. And I straight up coughed my lungs out. But at that point I didn't even buy one yet. And honestly, I probably wasn't even really addicted yet at that point. But I just kept ripping my friends here and there, when I saw them or whatever. And yeah, eventually it was probably I'd say a few months later, maybe 2 months later, I decided to buy my own. I was of age too. I wasn't some high school kid or something. But yeah, I bought one thinking oh, if I had my own, I would be able, I wouldn't even use it that much. And obviously, well, I mean, it did start like that. I would only rip it once in a while, usually at night or something. But then it would slowly get more and more. I never used to bring it even out of the house when I first got it. But then I would slowly start bringing it out to kickbacks, I guess, or parties or whatever. And yeah, it just started increasing more and more. And I was working a job because it was summertime and I was back from school. So I started working this job that I hated at the time too. But I started bringing it there and I would just chief it during my breaks. And yeah, it wasn't even that bad yet, as most addictions, you can say, would start. But then I guess I went back to school because I was in college, And yeah, I would just chief it so much more and more. And by then I was basically like full blown fiendin', I guess you can say. And yeah, I was going through like mad pods a day of the jewel. And yeah, I just kept doing it and doing it. And then I would say I guess the next summer, pretty much, there would be like times where like honestly where I probably would like hit it like way too much, and I would just like randomly get sick, like my stomach would hurt and I would start like throwing up or whatever. And like I didn't know why at the time. I was like, oh, like I've been chiefing this thing so much anyways, like it can't be from that, you know? So yeah, I never even stopped. I just kept doing it, and it was like more and more. And the money you spend on those things, like the pods and stuff, or even if you have like a regular vape or you smoke cigarettes or whatever you do, it like adds up. Like it's mad money that you spend. So I just kept doing it. And then I think it was probably like the fall semester at school was like the first time that I was kind of like, alright, I should probably stop or try to stop doing this. But I was basically like a full-fledged fiend at that time, so it was like near impossible, bro. Like I couldn't even like, bro, I would hit it in the back of my classes or in the bathrooms. Bro, like if I went like an hour without it, it was just like a W at that point, which is insane. I would even be hitting it at work. Like I used to be a server at a restaurant, and I would be hitting it at the POS, like the computers that you like put in the orders and stuff. Like I was actually tweaking. But anyways, yeah, I feel like I was like, yeah, I should probably stop, but like obviously I couldn't. And yeah, so I just kept doing it, and I think I kept doing it, like just mad. And like honestly, it was like making me lose like so much weight, and I didn't even realize it at the time until like I came back from school that year for the summer. And like I weighed myself and I was like so underweight. Like I've always been pretty skinny, but like bruh, I was on some Jack Skellington type movements. And so I started to go to like the gym a lot more, and I started to like take these mass gainer shakes, and I started to put on mad size, but I was also still like ripping nicotine heavy. And yeah, like my stomach would just be like so messed up because I was taking like these like high calorie shakes, and then I was just chiefing nicotine. So right before I went back to school that year, this is probably like I guess like 2 or 3 years from when I started, I was like, alright, I'm gonna try and quit, like whatever. Like I don't know why, I just decided like I'm just gonna stop. So I took like my current vape from that time, and like I was at the gym and I like was ripping it in my car before I went in, and I just like threw it out in the bathroom there. And then So I went for like a few days without having one. I was like so like set on not ripping one again. Like I remember going to work for the first time without one, and bruh, it was terrible. Like my face like was tingling like in a bad way. Like it was like an itch. But I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna deal with it. So I went like about a week without it, but then I went back to school, and first day back, I went to a party, and drinks were flowing. We'll say that the drinks were flowing, and I was feeling some type of way, and somebody offered me to rip basically like their jewel, or it was like not even a jewel, it was like some other vape thing. But yeah, they had like, and at first I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it, like earlier in the night. But then once I was like a little turnt, I was like, whatever, like what's one hit gonna do? Bruh, I took one hit. I feel like my soul left my body for a second. Like, I was so lightheaded, I was like, geez, bruh. And then from that point, I slowly started to get back into it, unfortunately. And I was like, dang, bruh. Because after that, like, first week, I wasn't even, like, really craving it that much. And so I was like, yo, I might be in the clear. But then I hit one, and I kind of ruined everything. So then for the rest of that year, I was pretty much, I was getting, like, the disposable things, because that was when the disposables, like, started to, like, pop off. So I was getting, like, puff bars and, like, everything like a puff bar or whatever. And, like, me and my one roommate had so many of them, and we would just line them up in our, like, living room in our school apartment. And it was actually, like, insane. Like, it covered, like, this whole giant windowsill. We had, like, had to be in, like, 100 and something of them. And, yeah, man. Didn't even see anything wrong with it at that point. I was just like, whatever. So, then the whole pandemic starts. And, I come home or whatever, and it's, like, harder to, like, leave the house. At least it was, like, in the beginning, because, like, it was, like, lockdown. Like, nobody really knew how serious it would be or whatever, so, like, everything was, like, locked down. And so, at that point, I started to do, like, these, like, nicotine, like, pouches. They're called, like, Zyn pouches, for anybody who knows. But, yeah, I started doing those. And, they would, like, last me a lot longer, because the disposables would only last me, like, a day at a time. So, you were literally spending, like, $10 a day. At that point, I should have just bought, like, a new jewel or something, but whatever. So I was getting, like, these pouches, and in a way, like, I guess they kind of, like, helped you, like, get off of nicotine, but not really, because I was popping, like, mad of them a day. And, yeah, so I was doing, like, those pouches for a while. I wasn't really even, like, vaping anymore at that point, but I was still, like, heavily addicted to nicotine. And, yeah, it would, like, make me, like, sick sometimes, and, like, stuff like that. But it's like I was trapped in the house all day anyways, like, don't matter. That was my mindset to it. But then, it was probably, like, late in the summer. This is, like, past summer. Like, past, like, 2020. And, I was like really trying to like better myself. So I was like, I don't know, I was like learning like a lot more about being like mindful and stuff like that. And eventually, like, I was still doing nicotine, but like I was like wanted to stop. I just like couldn't. Like, and then just like one day, it was kind of like one day, but I would buy like the disposables like once in a while, like very rarely I would buy them. And I had this, I would like I was getting them like more frequently, and I'd be like, all right, this is the last one, like this is the last one, and I would just keep buying them, obviously, because I was hooked. And there was one time where I was like, yeah, I'm buying the last one, and like I finished it, and I was like ready to go back to the store and buy another one. But then I just like told myself, like, bruh, how many times have you said like this is the last one? Like, you need to chill. So pretty much I just like I stopped, and I was like fiending, obviously, for the next like couple days. And like I would like look on YouTube and like look wherever of like people like how they quit or whatever. And I'm trying to think like exactly what I did. But I think it was because like what kept me going was that like I was just so fed up, and I kind of like refused to hit one again. Like I was kind of like being like stubborn about it. And I also read this book. It's a Tony Robbins book. If you know who that is, he's like this motivational speaker dude. He's pretty famous. But I read like a book. It was called Awaken the Giant Within or whatever. And it told like certain steps, like how to stop yourself from like addiction and stuff like that. And so like one of the things he said was to it was like, imagine how you would feel if you like did that certain thing again or whatever, like how bad you would feel. And like there was like another thing where he talked about like how you associate doing that activity with like, I guess, pain or whatever. So like I did those two things, and you were supposed to like write them down too, and like write down like why you're stopping, like how it would benefit you, like what would happen if you don't stop type things. So I did all that, and honestly after like, I feel like getting past like the first week is probably like the hardest part. But after that, because you're like kind of getting used to like the feelings of like, I guess, the withdrawals, like the cravings or whatever. And obviously some people have it worse than others, but I don't know, it's just my experience. And so yeah, after like the first week, like I was kind of like used to what the cravings were, and I knew like how to tell myself no, like how to get myself to stop. And I felt like after that, like there was like no way that I could like do it again. And the big thing that I did was really take it like one day at a time, instead of looking like, oh, it's only been like a week since I stopped, I guess, or it's like, what would one hit do, or whatever. So I took it like one day at a time, like each day was like a victory type thing. And know a lot of people struggle with like going around friends that do it, because I think it's like an epidemic right now, honestly. So many people do it, like even when you go out. But my advice would be like, don't go out anywhere. Like if you're gonna like drink or something, like, or whatever, around people who like use those things that you don't want to use, like don't be around them for a little bit until you're like comfortable. And when you do like surround yourself with people like that or whatever, make sure that you stay strong and remember why you like quit. Cause yeah, I remember when I quit, I'd be around certain people and like I would kind of want it, but then I realized like, honestly, it feels like amazing when you actually like quit. Especially when you didn't think that you could. So, yeah, I haven't done that in like, it's probably been like close to 6 months, and I ain't looking back, honestly. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So my advice to anybody who's trying to like quit like nicotine, cigarettes, whatever, nicotine in any form, would say that you should first write down why you want to quit, then associate like pain with doing that activity. Like you'd feel terrible if you did it. Take breaks from like being in certain situations that like you'd be exposed to that kind of activity, and you gotta like keep yourself like occupied too. That's like another thing that I left out, honestly, because your body, like when you're like trying to like stop, like initially your body's gonna want something to like replace that like action of like oral fixation, I guess you can say. That like oral fixation, so you want to find something else to do. Like personally, like I would chew like a lot of gum for like the first couple weeks, which probably isn't good for your teeth, but honestly I'd take that over like damaging my body in other ways. I also started to eat like a lot more, like I mentioned before, that like I lost like a lot of weight at one point, and it was honestly because like the nicotine definitely like suppresses your hunger. So when I stopped, like it was so much easier for me to gain weight. And yeah, like I'm honestly like naturally like 10 pounds heavier than I was normally when I was like going crazy. So yeah, there's that. But if you're worried about like gaining weight, I would say don't really worry about that. Like you could always lose weight if you're worried about that. And yeah, you just gotta stay strong. You gotta be like mad stubborn about it. People are gonna try and like mess with you, like try and get you to like hit it or whatever, hit their thing or whatever. You just gotta stay strong. It all is worth it in the end. And honestly, I think that's about it. I know that a lot of people definitely like suffer with like that kind of addiction, Like, it's pretty common nowadays. I even see kids that are like young, like high school kids that are like addicted to it, which is pretty messed up. But yeah, you are not your addiction, as they would say. But if you found this video helpful or somewhat motivating, make sure you give this video a like, subscribe. I usually do gameplays, but I want to start doing like other things as well. So let me know what you guys think. And yeah, that's about it. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.